How's it, guys? Welcome back to the live today. It is a Friday, so one more day into the weekend. I hope everyone's doing well. And yeah, let's get straight into the charts. So today I'll be going over pretty much all the most important charts, obviously the main ones. And then I'll be speaking about where I think price will go within today and obviously the weekend and the following week. So yeah, this is basically I'm gonna go from a high time frame perspective, and then I'll be looking at some positions later on in the video. So just stay tuned until I get there. But yeah, please leave a like and subscribe, and then also if you want any charts that you want me to go over, put them in the chat so I can do so. Okay, first up, what I want to speak about is obviously we have news today, right? So this news is called PCE price index. So normally when we have a red folder news like this, we see some volatility, right? So just be aware of 330, and whatever numbers come out, we'll have to, obviously look at that, right? So what they're expecting is 0.3%. So if the actual is greater than the forecast, then obviously we would look to that would be bullish for the dollar, right? Which would be bearish for crypto. So just keep an eye on that, and then personal income as well. If it's greater, bullish. If it's greater, it's bullish for the dollar. So obviously, if it's less, then crypto can rally. So today is quite an important day because of the news. So I'll be going through Bitcoin and some other coins, and then obviously you guys can obviously put it in the chat so I can go over some more coins. But this was quite interesting to look at first. First up, I want to go over this. So it says historically when Bitcoin weekly RSI shows overbought after being oversold and broke the lower high trend, it indicates a bottom, and this is history. Okay, so this is looking at past history. You can see at 2015 we had that break of the RSI over here, and then we started moving to the upside. Then 2019 we had that break of the RSI, started moving to the upside, and at the moment we're having that break. So it could be an indication of we could be at the bottom. I'm not too sure, but this is one of the indicators that show that we are close to or somewhat close to the bottom. So just be aware of that. So first up, I want to go over Bitcoin. Obviously, let's take a look at Bitcoin. So I'm going to go in a high time frame, and then I'll start going down to lower time frames. So we're looking at Bitcoin here on the high time frame. Okay, so what can you see? Well, what I can see is Bitcoin has been trading, in this downward channel for the last couple of months, right? For around about a year to be exact. And what has just happened is, well, in the last couple of days we broke out of this uptrend, right? I mean this downtrend, and this shows us that there's more signs of bulls in the market at the moment. And obviously with this 30% increase to the upside, it does show that we are regaining the momentum. And what this shows you is we also reclaimed the previous higher low, right? So we had these higher lows, these lower lows in the market previously, and then we actually broke above it over here, and we broke above this one. So in order for us to remain bullish, we need to tap into this 25,000 level, and then start, closing above that zone. So that's currently the scenario for Bitcoin, and I'll show you on a smaller time frame now what I can see that might be happening, right? So let me just take this away. So let's just take a look at a 3-hour time frame. So I don't know what's happening. There we go. Yeah, so looking at the 3-hour time frame, you can see that we are currently in this bull flag, right? Let me just make this a bit darker. Okay, so we're currently in this bull flag, and what this means is, well, whenever price forms a bull flag like this, we tend to move up, right? So in order for us to move up, what needs to happen? Well, we need to break this this resistance at the top here, and what that shows you is this zone over here is acting as a resistance zone. So in order for us to remain bullish on Bitcoin, what needs to happen is price needs to break above here, and get a retest back up to the 25,000 mark. So I'll be looking for that within the next couple of days. And then same with shorting. Obviously, if it breaks the support at the bottom here, then it can come down further. But with typically a bull flag, we tend to go up in the market. Whereas, so I'm expecting more of a rally than a downside. So looking at this, we can take, so a bull flag, you take it from the bottom of the start of the bull flag, of the pump, and then you put it back to around about at the bottom of the resistance, the support, and the top of the resistance, like that, and it shows us around about 25,000, and that's why I'm targeting that area. And that area is a confluence of previous resistance in the market, right? So you can see over here, this is acting as a resistance zone, and there's also an order block over here. So price can definitely tap into this area before moving back up to that 30,000 mark. So that's the current situation for Bitcoin. I will be showing some levels to look at. So looking at let's take a look at the 5 minute here. So yeah, these are the levels that I've been using for scalping. Okay, so obviously earlier we had a nice little break of this level. This was previously support over here, over here, and so that's why I had bars above here, because once we break this level to the upside, we're most likely going to tap into the next resistance zone, and that's where we got. And then I also have bars above 23,071 above this area, and then sells will be valid below this zone here. So I'll just put sells below here, put it like that. Okay, so I have sells below 22,889, and yeah, so just be aware of these levels, and yeah, just make sure that you have these down. Yeah, I mean, obviously I am more bullish in a case of how we've we in this consolidation, this bull flag, but we did create a new high over here, and we haven't tapped these lows yet. So in order for us to remain bearish, I mean to get bearish, we need to tap these lows and start finding support here, and then breaking down. So I am still bullish because of the fact that we are still currently in this little uptrend, where we're creating these highs and higher lows. So just be aware of that for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum is also quite simple. So there's a lot of ranges here. I just need to take these out here at the top. Okay, so these are my zones I'm looking at today. So what we have is we have bars above 1589.68, and the reason why I want bars above there is because of the fact that we have very, very big support over here and a resistance over here. So price needs to close above this area, and whenever we close above, we seem to tap into this zone over here. We tapped into the zone over here, and then we came down. So there we go. Sorry about that. It's back on. Very strange. But yeah, I'll be back on. Sorry about that. So what I was looking at on the dollar, we are currently in this range. Is this level below here? Then I'll be looking at obviously longs for Bitcoin. So just take a look at this, and obviously this will give you a nice indication of longing Bitcoin. So just be aware of that. And then let's take a look at a few other coins I've got going here. We have Solana. So looking at Solana, What can we see here? Well, let me go on a smaller time frame just to show you my entries, and then we can analyze it from a higher time frame. Okay, so looking over here, what I had bars above 23.7 and bars above 24.03. But what I'm seeing is now we're getting that breakdown. Okay, so when looking at the 5 minute here, what it tells us is we have levels at this zone. Okay, so this zone is acting as significant support, right? So if we lose this zone at the moment, what can happen is price can come back down to 22.52. So we just need to keep an eye on this level, and what I'll be waiting for is some type of break of this zone at the bottom here on the 5 minutes. So once we get a break and clear this liquidity sitting at this area, then I'll be looking at potential sells below here. So I have potential sells below here. Okay, and that's what I'll be looking for Solana. So sells below 23.54, which is also short. So let me just put that there. And bars above 24.03. But if price comes back and reclaims this level over here, then we can look at potential bars back up to this 24 area. So just be aware of that. Yeah, and then let's take a look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin is a very interesting one because I have a few levels here that I want to point out. So Dogecoin, we broke this downward resistance line, sloping resistance line over here. Okay, and price came up, broke this. What this shows us is in order for us to get some bars, we'll need price to close above here, right? So once yeah, I don't know, my Wi-Fi keeps on going out and very irritating. So looking at this, what I said is that we need to obviously break this level at 0.8282 in order for us to look for sells. But in order for us to look for bars, we need to break above 0.9065. So that's what I'll be looking at for Dogecoin. So just keep an eye out for these levels. It is a very important zone. And what's quite important about this zone is it is around about a 19% move to the upside. So if Bitcoin starts to rally, what we can see is Dogecoin getting that massive move to the upside. And I'll show you guys why I think that this might happen, because when we're looking at this chart over here, so what this chart shows us is, let me just get in the daily. Yeah. So on the daily time frame, what we can see here, so this is the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin. So we obviously got a nice little rally over here, and that's when the altcoins did a nice little move. But now we're getting a bit of consolidation at these zones over here. So what that tells us is price should start moving now, because we're consolidating for a while. So if price breaks up to the upside, then we can see this big move back up to around about 679 trillion. And that will be a big move for the altcoin. So just keep an eye out for this graph. We did break this channel, and we are retesting it. So it looks like we might get that move to the upside. But alternatively, if this doesn't happen, then we would have to look at these lows over here. So what these lows tell us, it tells us that price breaks this area, then we might get back down. But to be honest, it looks like we might get a move up before a move down. But obviously that we have to look at the news. So the news tells us what's going to be happening today. So once the news comes out and the dollar's bullish or bearish, then we'll know where price is going to go after that, and then we can start making start analyzing the charts a bit more. So just be aware of the news today, very important. And this graph, obviously, it just shows you everything but the Bitcoin chart. So also want to go over the S&P 500. So I've been speaking about this chart for the last couple of days, and this chart shows us is that we were in this downtrend over here. You can see that we're creating these lower lows and lower highs over here. And what has happened now, we're starting to create higher lows and potentially a higher highs over here. So we have broken out of this structure to the upside, and what that tells us is price can start moving to around about these levels over here. And obviously, if the S&P 500 starts to rally, then we would see a nice movement in the crypto markets. So just be aware of this. And we did get a nice bullish close yesterday in the S&P 500. Very bullish. There's no bottom wick or anything like that. So there is a bit of a bottom wick, but we'll need to break above this level in order for us to start filling the range. So just be aware of the S&P 500, and this is a good sign in the short term for the crypto market. I want to go over yeah, also in the comments, put coins that you would like me to go over, and I can definitely do that. I've gone over ETH, Bitcoin, Dogecoin. I went over Chainlink. I went over Solana. What other coins would you like me to go over? Put in the comments, and we can definitely do that. A lot of people love APT, so I'll go over APT. APT has been doing very, very well. And what is happening at the moment? What are we seeing? We have some type of consolidation, and it's more to the downside. So what needs to happen? We need to break this low over expect price. So if we break this low over here at 17.2982, then what I would expect price to fill this range that it came up like this. So we can expect price to come back down to the 16.65 levels. So just be aware of that. I will be looking for sells below here to this zone. And then bars, what I would look for bars, let me just see in the 30 minutes here. Bars are hard. They're tricky at the moment because of the fact that it's at the highest it's ever been in terms of candle closures. Because when looking left here, I'll show you in the 4-hour. When it got released, it came up to the 100 mark, and then obviously dropped down, but it's never closed this high before. So basically, we're creating new levels, if you know what I mean. So in order for price to make new highs, we would have to work it out in terms of ratios. So what I'll be looking at, maybe potential buys above here. I'm more looking at sells for APT at the moment because it is quite overbought, and it is very, very high, and it can drop a lot. So maybe buys above 18.3784. I'll be looking for that. So buys above there. And definitely sells below 17.29. Because what that means is we'll clear all these wicks over here, and then price can start moving its way back down. So take a look at this chart. It will APT, you can make quite a bit of money from this in terms of the how much it moves. So it can go around about 9%, and that can be within the hour because of the fact that we had this imbalance over here. So price might need to fill this before we start moving back up. So just be aware that we could definitely see a potential sell below 17.2982. Let's take a look at is this Axie Infinity, right? Must be. Yeah, I haven't looked at this chart in a while, so I'll do analysis on it. Let's take a look and see what's happening here. Okay, so on the daily, what we can see, let's take a look. Yeah, so we're on the daily, okay? And what we can see is that we've created a local high at this point here. Okay, so this would be our local high, right? I'm just gonna say local high with a LH, and what we can see is this local high is significant support, right? And a consolidation zone. So what needs to happen is we need to break that local high in order for us to look for longs. And I'll be going over a shorter time frame, but I just want to see where else this plays into. Yeah, you can see we have the support over here. Yeah, okay. So this zone, this daily zone, is very important because it has been creating a lot of resistance at this area, and then obviously support. So in order for us to look for buys, we'll have to wait for closure above this zone, and we'll be looking for levels such as 1550, around about there. If we break this level, okay. So let's just take a look at the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, you can see that we create that nice run up over here. And what is happening? It looks like we're just retracing, right? So I still remain bullish on this unless we lose this local support over here. So if this 4 hour candle closes bearish, then we can be looking for sells below here, because when looking left here, yeah, this is the perfect level. So when looking left, what has happened whenever we close bearish below here? We tend to drive down, right? Close bearish below here, we drove down. Close bearish below here, we drove down. And then let's take a look at more other scenarios. Yeah, let's take a look here. Yeah, this level is very, very important. You can see that price taps into the zone and drives, okay? Tapped into the zone and drove. Tapped into the zone and drove. So yeah, this area I'll be looking at sells, definitely. And I'll be looking at sells below the zone at 1108. And where would I be targeting? Well, it would be the most recent resistance. So it would be, let me just take these away. It would be this level over here. So that would be my main target. And why is that my main target? Well, because when price closes below this area, what seems to happen is price comes back down, retests and pushes up, right? Came down, retested the zone. This zone was a resistance, so this zone would definitely be the ideal take profit area for sells. So I'll be looking at sells below here at 1108. Close. So I'll be waiting for a 4 hour candle close, right? Because this is based on a higher time frame. So if we're looking at the lower time frames, let's look at the 1 hour. We would have to close below below this level on the 1 hour, right? But on the 4 hour, it would be 1108. So if we close bearish below here on the 1 hour, then we can also look for short below here. But in order for us to be confident with this trade, I'll be waiting for that 4 hour closure, because why? It is a higher time frame confluence, right? And whenever we have a higher time frame matching whatever we think it's going to do, it gives us more confirmations, right? So just be aware of that. Wait for a 4 hour candle closure above 1108, and then you can look at potential sells back down to 9.99, which is around about, let's take a look, around about a 10% move. So sells definitely below here and bars above here. Bars below above 12.45. Yeah. So that's what I'll be looking at for XE. Yeah, definitely looking good. We did get a nice run up. I do think that we might bounce from here. I'm not gonna obviously put a position because we are at a support, so we might bounce. But what I'm waiting for is price to actually break the support, and then we can catch some sells, or break the resistance to catch some buys. So I'll be looking for a breakout on either side, and potentially we can get a run up here. I'm not saying that we can't. But personally, I wouldn't be looking for buys at the zone, because what we can do is price can just break this level, and that's why I'll be looking for sells below there. Yeah, any other charts to go over? I've gone over. I'll go back to the Bitcoin and Ethereum positions, just if you haven't been here. So what I'll be looking for Bitcoin is these zones, yeah. So Bitcoin, you can actually use the 15 minutes and the 5. I've drawn these zones for lower time frame scalping. So I had bars above this area at 22,889, and it closed perfectly bullish. And then what happened was we had a nice little wick to the bottom to grab some liquidity, and then we pushed up and hit that 7-1 target. And what you can see that this level provides significant resistance over here, and that's why we're getting that bounce off that zone. So I'm having bars above 23.01 071, and then 22,889 I'll be looking for sells. So these are the ranges that I'll be working with. So I'll be looking at taking profit at 23,200, and looking at taking profit at 22,889. So just be aware of those. APT, I did just go over APT. I'm not sure where you were or you just joined, but I can definitely go over it again for you. Don't worry. I'll quickly jump to APT before I go to Ethereum. Yeah, APT, yeah, these are my zones for APT. I'm not going to go over the analysis that I've just done for it, but these are the zones that you can look at. I literally just went over this, but yeah. Looking at this now, I'll be looking at sells below 1729.82. And if we get a 15-minute closure, a 15-minute candle closure to take out these lows, then we can definitely start driving down. So be aware of this level at 17.2982. And then bars, I would want bars above 18.37, but I'm not too confident in that, because we are kind of consolidating in this range and we have more momentum to the downside. So sells are definitely on the table here, but that's only if we close below here. We need to close and take out these lows. If we don't take out these lows and we just get a wick, then price can definitely come back and fill these ranges. Because what would that do is basically trapping all the sellers over here, and the buyers are actually just gaining momentum. Yeah, and then Ethereum. Ethereum, here are my levels. Bars above 15.89.68, and then sells below 15.60. Be looking at that, definitely. Potential sells below here as well. Potential sells below here. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, sells below 1572.44 are valid actually. We can have sells below here. And sells below 1560. So yeah, these levels, just put them on your charts. And this is for a 15-minute candle closure. So I'll be waiting for a 15-minute candle closure. Yeah, any other charts you want me to go over, put it in the chat and I can do that. I've gone over a lot of charts, and if you guys just joined, remember we do have news today at 3:30 p.m., which is obviously if you're at different time zones, you just need to convert. We are UCT plus 2, so just be aware of that. And this news will have a big impact in the market. So trading during this time is not advised. And that is, it's from now, it's around about 2 hours. So yeah, 2 hours, pretty much exact. So 2 hours from now, we'll be seeing some volume in the market. So be aware of that. Yeah, any other charts to go over? Put it in the chat. Yeah, Solana I'm looking for bars above 24.03 and sells below 23.54. Let's take a look at the US 100 quickly. Yeah. Yeah, the US 100 has been trading in a nice uptrend for the last couple of days. So yeah, you can see it's starting to find resistance at these levels. So we might see some type of move down first before we get a move up. But because the title is positive or negative volume, well, that's hard to know. Well, we have to wait for price to come out, right? I mean, for the data to come out. Once we see the data bullish on the dollar, then obviously it's negative volume for crypto. And then if it's bearish, then it's, obviously if, these signs are bearish, then it would be bullish for crypto. So we just need to be aware. I mean, I don't know at all. No one knows what the news is when it before it comes out. So that's why we don't trade during those times, and you can't predict what the news is going to do. So that's why you come to websites like this in order for you to get your to understand what this will do to the market. So if this is bullish for the dollar, then we'll be looking for sells for Bitcoin and ETH. But I do think that we might I don't know, and we might get a rally within the next couple of days, because looking at the higher time frame chart here on Bitcoin, I want to show you this chart. You can see that we are in this bull flag, right? It's just loading my so we are in this bull flag over here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we're in this bull flag, and what typically happens in a bull flag, well, price normally consolidates in it, like it's been doing, and we normally see a breakout to the upside and targeting around about $25,000. So once we get a break above this zone over here at around about 23,300, once we close above there, well, then we can look for juicy longs to the upside, around about a 6% move. And that would obviously mean that the altcoins and Ethereum and all of them will pump as well. But what can definitely happen is price can obviously close below these levels and start making its way down. So just be aware of this pattern that we have formed in the charts, and obviously the news will affect it. And at the moment, we need to break these highs in order for us to be bullish, and break these lows over here in order for us to be bearish. So currently we're just consolidating, right? We're just in this consolidation, and this is a higher time frame bias. So you can obviously catch trades on the smaller time frames, and I did put them in I did show you guys earlier what they would be. So yeah, looking for that 25,000 move soon. Definitely going to happen within the next couple of days, I think. We'll see though. I could be wrong, but if we lose this level, then it would be invalidated, because prices will be start moving down. But if we break above here, we can definitely move back up to that 25,000 mark. And then once we break that 25,000 mark, well, what's next? We have this level over here, the 30,000 level. And this level has been creating supports for a long time. And if you go back in time, you can see how important this level is. So we need to break this 25,000 resistance in order for us to get that push up to that 30,000. So currently we're in this bear flag. This bull flag. Once this bull flag gets broken to the upside, then we can look at longs back up to 25, start creating some support here, and then back up to 30,000. But if price breaks below here and closes below here, then we can be looking for sells. So at the moment, we need to wait for news to come out in order for us to get some type of prediction of where price is going to go, right? But we do have scalping levels that we can take in the meantime. And these are obviously the levels that I have drawn on the chart for you guys. So yeah, these are the zones. I have bars above 23.071 and sells below 22.889 on the 15-minute chart. But obviously during news, these levels would be I would have to redraw the levels because news impacts the price, and you can't tell. You have to wait for news to happen, right? But yeah, any other charts? Well, before head off on the Friday. Hope everyone's doing well. And yeah, put your countries in the chat so we can see where you guys are from. But yeah, thanks so much for joining today. And remember to hit the like button if you enjoyed today. And if you want me to go over any other charts, just put in the link. I'll be on for the next 10 minutes here, and then we can discuss what other charts to go over. Sure, I'll go over H bar. Yeah, there's a lot of Nigerians in the from the chat. H bar. I think I actually went over H bar the other day. Let me check here. Yeah, I did. Yeah, H bar. Take a look at this. Yeah. So H bar, I did a chart on this the other day. Okay, so we're looking at this. I have cells below 0.062641, which is valid. And we did create a new local high over here. So that could be our next zone, right? Over here, yeah, let's go over this. So we have that zone. Let me just check where this falls up to. I'm going back, but there's no more data. Okay, so yeah, I'll be looking for bars above here actually, 0.7071. So bars above here. This will be a nice level to get bars above, and then we can target 0.082 at our most recent high before this, right? And this level creates a nice resistance over here and some support. So yeah, that's the level I'll be going through. So I'll be looking at bars above here. We did close bullish yesterday, and what is happening here? It looks like we're creating this nice bottom wick, and what that gives us is price to move up further, right? So we might fill this wick over here at 0.7065, and then we can look at placing bars above 0.071, aiming to fill this wick at the top here that was created the past couple of days. So yeah, bars above 0.071 are valid. APT and Sol. I've gone over APT. I just went over it, but I'll go over it again, and then I'll go over Sol. I did go over Sol. So Solana, yeah. Solana, this is APT, sorry. APT, I'll be looking at sells below 17.2982. Back down, something like this, right? Back down to this level. But that's only if we close, right? So we need to close below here. If we don't close below here, then we can come back up to here. So this is just an idea. So if price closes below 17.2982, then we can look for sells back down to this area. And then looking at Solana, same with the Solana, looking for sells below 23.54 and then bars above 24.03. Yeah, so it's something like this. Because when you're scalping, you want to be trading in different zones, right? For me, I never trade in the current zone because I'm waiting for a breakout or some type of move to or change of direction. So I'll be looking at something like this. Sells below 23.54 and then bars above 24.03. So those are the levels I'm looking at for Solana. Yeah, you can see there's a lot of Nigerians in here. Greetings from South Africa. Dogecoin, a lot of people trade Dogecoin. I did go over this as well. Yeah, Dogecoin. So I'm looking at bars above 0.09 and then sells below 0.08. At the moment, there's no real direction, right? This is just consolidation. So I'm planning to buy at above here and then sell below here, depending on where price is going to go. And after the news comes out, I think we're going to get some nice volume. But yeah, cool. Thanks so much. I really appreciate everyone being here. If you liked the channel today, if you liked what you the information that I was giving out, and just hit the like button, that would be much appreciated. And see you guys next week, Wednesday, for another update where I'll be going over different levels because the market would have changed, and we can see if our levels played out. Cool. Thanks so much for being here. See you guys.